Hey guys, welcome back to OC Outdoorsman. Well, I've come back to Lake Dixon. The sun's about to come out, and I'm about to start fishing. Well, just a few years ago, this was a hot spot. Everyone just congregated here at the dock, and they were catching fish left and right. And as you can see here, today there were no anglers whatsoever anywhere near the docks. So I decided to try Trout Cove next. Once again, because a few years ago, that was another hot spot. So as you can see here from where I was, it was about a quarter mile away to hike it over to Trout Cove. And that's what I did. But unfortunately, again, no anglers there. So after speaking to one of the locals, I find out that everyone and their grandma was over at Whisker Bay. That's where they stocked the trout, and it turns out they were just hanging out and schooled up in that area, and it's a very small spot. And it was just jam-packed with anglers, and they were catching trout. But unfortunately for me, there just was no room at all to fish there. So I just returned back to the parking spot here on the road to capture footage of Lake Dixon from a different point of view. Well, today I'm at Santa Ana River Lakes, and if you check it out, I'm in my float tube. Man, it's been years since I've taken this float tube out on the water, and this is definitely my first time using a float tube out here at Santa Ana River Lakes. So I'm here with two. He's over there in the red hat, and yeah, I'm going to cast out a few lures, see if I could hook into anything. Well, after about an hour, it started to get super cold out there, so I decided to head back to shore and cast out a mice tail, and within 30 minutes I was able to land this nice little rainbow trout. Now keep in mind that the term little is very relative, because this fish weighed close to 2 pounds, and I only say that he was little because compared to the other fish that were being landed, it was small. The guys to my left were catching 5 to 7 pound lightning trout, and a guy on a float tube later in the day caught a 17 pound rainbow trout. So there were some huge fish in this lake. Oh, I have my hemostats. Perfect.
You got your stringer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's in my float tube.
Take him home or what?
Do you want him?
Hell yeah.
Okay. He's yours.
Fucking $35. He's mine.
That's right. Check out this tilapia that two caught on rod and reel.
Man, that shit cracked me up.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Santa Ana River Lakes tilapia. Now check this out. This is my setup. I'm now using size 10 owner mosquito hooks. I think 10 works best now, because when I'm using these old power eggs, they tend to be less buoyant, but when you're using hooks this light, they work super well, and they'll still float no matter what, because the hooks have virtually no weight to them. And check it out. So you want to thread the power egg all the way through the hook. You see how I'm on the line now? And then I'll pick up a chartreuse. Looks like my last one. Power worm. Oh, I have one more. Okay. I'll thread it through the hook like this. Shoot, forgot my glasses. So thread the worm, just the tip of it. What is it?
It's long enough anyway, huh?
Dude, that's only go at least 16 to 18 inches. It has to float well, above the floor, so the ground, so they could see it. And you slide the power egg back up to the eye of the hook, just like this. See how well that exposed hook is? And then just dip it in garlic. Here, I'll give you some 2 pound test. Are you sure you want to use 2? It's kind of light for these big trout. I have heavier.
No, that's cool. I'm just gonna leave it like this and put power pick it on.
All right. There it is, ready to cast out. So these are the number 10 owner hooks, mosquito hooks that I'm using. And after threading or creating your own mice tail, always double check to make sure it floats. And look at that. See, I've used it so many times and it's still floating. Always double check it. Hey, welcome back to OC Outdoorsman. Today I'm at Prado Regional Park, and this is my first time fishing from the shoreline because there's been an algae bloom on the lake, and they're not allowing any sort of water vessels out there on the lake. You'll see it is pretty packed. Look at all the anglers along the shoreline. Yeah, I'm right here. But yeah, I've never fished this lake. I usually come here on my kayak, but now boats and yaks are forbidden. After about an hour of no action, I mean not a single nibble, and none of the other anglers along the shoreline here landed a fish. So I decide to try a different spot. Alright, check it out, guys. I found the spillway from the shoreline. I'd only traveled here through kayak, but today I hiked it all the way from the parking lot across these cow pastures. Man, it was a hike just to get here. But typically this is a good area for trout, so I'm gonna try this spot for a little bit. What sounds like firecrackers in the background, that's actually gunfire because we're really close to Rahagi's. It's a gun range, and you could hear that in the background as we're fishing. But I spent several hours out here, and the guys across from me, I think they caught a total of 2 fish in the time that I spent here. So the fishing was super slow, and there's a lot of talk about the algae bloom causing the fish to be less aggressive. And yeah, sure enough, they just weren't biting like they normally would. So I would recommend waiting until this algae bloom goes away and then try fishing here again, because this is normally a great spot to fish. Well, check out my new tackle backpack. This is by TH Marine. It's the Tackle Titan Travel Boss. I believe that's what the model is called. But this is great. You can see it's really spacious. I could fit 2 3700 style tackle boxes in here. Also, the cool thing about this backpack is it's insulated. You see this? I could store drinks and things, ice. I mean, there's extra room here. I just threw in some my rod holders here, since this is what I'll be using mainly for shore fishing. But it's completely insulated. It's supposed to be able to keep drinks cold for a couple days. Fully insulated and waterproof. You can see there are 4 external pockets. And the cool thing about this is there are 2 rod holders here on either side that I can just throw my rods in, and as I walk long distances like here at Prado Lake, and especially at Irvine Lake. So that's one of the big selling points of this backpack are the rod holders. And you can see back here are the straps. And again, it is fully insulated, so it doubles as a cooler if you want to bring drinks and snacks along. Here on the other side are the 2 other pockets. Oh, and check this out. Because these zippers are sealed to prevent water from coming in, the zippers themselves have this grip on the end that you're seeing here. It looks like a T-grip, I guess, for TH Marine. But it makes it easier for you to just yank on this thing, because without it, it is tight. It's really difficult to pull that zipper across because it's designed to prevent water from coming in. But that's a really nice feature here. Again, it's a very well designed angler's backpack. But you'll see that when I open it back up, and you can look back in here, The two 3700 sized tackle boxes, they're the deep tray ones too. These are not small by any measure. They're a good size. They hold quite a bit. So let's take a look at what I have and how I organize my freshwater gear. So in this storage tray, I'll keep all of my power bait, the different scents and colors. And there's a scooper, and then in this little storage area I keep all of my number 8 and 10 treble hooks. And let's see, those are my spoons, crankbaits. I keep them all separated. My spinners are there. These are my wedding rings that I use over at Big Bear, along with my crankbaits. So these are all kept together along with my mini jigs. So it makes them easier to find. I also keep my inflator here for if I want to use crawlers or night crawlers as bait. But in the second storage tray, this is where I keep all of my mice tails. As you know, I like to build the mice tails. I don't like to have them pre-built. So here I have all the different colors and scents in power worms. All right, so you'll see chartreuse. I have orange and cheese. And then I have all the power eggs that you're seeing here as well. So I can mix and match the different colors until I find a combination that the trout like. And of course I do keep my number 10s, or actually these are the sliding egg sinkers, because I use Carolina rigs. I keep them all together. These are the different weights, along with drop shot weights, so I could always switch to that if I need to. And then there's the garlic scent, as well as the number 10 owner hooks. Now these mosquito hooks are super versatile. I like them better than the other size hooks because you could use the old power worms and power eggs and they'll still float. So those are the two. I only need 2 tackle trays, but these are the deep ones and in size 3700, so it holds a lot. And these are the accessory loops. These are great because you could hook up carabiners to these loops, and yeah, that way you'll have everything in one container, in one backpack in this case. You can see I latched my scissors onto the accessory loops below, but it makes for a really convenient. Look at that. I have my towel there along with my fish grippers on the outside of the backpack, so I don't have to store those inside of the pack. Very well designed, as I mentioned. You see the 4 pockets on the outside as well, where I keep my extra fishing line along with other accessories. I forgot to record my intro, but here I am at Laguna Niguel Lake, and I hook into a fish relatively quickly using mice tails. Oh, he came on.
No.
Oh.
Serious.
So big too. You know what? He broke off.
Yeah. So this floats.
Yep, this floats and the worms float. But if you have a hook that's too big, they'll sink.
Oh,
Can I take a picture of those hooks?
Oh,
yeah, let's do that.
10s, you can get away with size 8, but 10s work better.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this is cool because you can mix and match the colors.
Yeah.
So if pink and white don't work, you could do chartreuse and orange, and until you find something that they like.
What did you just have? What color?
I used white and pink. On this lake, pink and white work really well.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Nudge.
Careful.
You guys want it?
I know. That's a nice one.
It is. 'Cause I'm just gonna let him go.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's tangled on your line.